I'm Andrew Porter from East Coast Yacht Sales, and I am here for the North American premiere of the brand new J36, a new offering from J-Boats, which is a true racer cruiser. A family can comfortably cruise on this boat, and it is also competitive offshore and competitive around the buoys. Let's take a quick peek. Without question, my favorite part of the new J36 is the cockpit. Twin wheels, centerline access, back to a wide open transom for boarding from a dinghy, swimming. There's an integral swim ladder on the starboard side, swim shower, everything you need for cruising, and lounging in the cockpit on two long benches. On the racing side of things, you've got ergonomical positions for main trimmers, jib trimmers, pit person, and two great driving positions. This cockpit is phenomenal. My second favorite feature about the J36 is the tunability of the sail handling systems and the rig. For competitive racing or for just performance cruising, you have controls at your fingertips that don't overcomplicate things, but give you a lot of ability to be efficient and keep the boat moving. From this awesome main sheet with the full-length traveler to in-haulers for the jib, we've got a lot of things at our fingertips that make this boat go. For example, the main sheet. Typical J-boat fashion, we have a full width traveler. So you're handling your trav from these two positions outboard. Main trimmer is going to sit in here, and then a dedicated main sheet winch on both sides. So that is a double-ended main sheet coming from the gooseneck down to the side deck, and then running aft to the main sheet winches, port and starboard. So you've got main sheet control and trav control from the uphill side on both sides of the boat. Very J-boat historic setup, and it works perfectly. For the jibs, pretty standard setup. You've got jib trimming winches here for your primaries, not overly complicated. And as you go forward, you've got movable jib cars on these tracks, and you have in-haulers. So just another tuning ability here for angle of attack and in-hauling for upwind. And then the movable track, if you're reaching, you can move that forward, and pretty easy from the cockpit. All those controls are handled coming back on deck here. Here's a look at the double-ended main sheet. So from the traveler aft, comes under the boom, turning block near the gooseneck, down to the side deck, and aft to those main sheet winches. And then obviously nothing simpler than a roller furling jib. There's nothing to say that a furling jib can't be a performance sail, and a well-cut, properly sized jib on this boat is going to be just fine. Of course, for racing situations, you could go to, up and down jibs, you're raising and lowering jibs, but for most scenarios, this sail is going to be great for your perforating, but also is going to be easy, and you still have those controls with the in-haulers, movable cars, so it's a tunable sail. And then of course there's the retractable bowsprit. That's a carbon fiber bowsprit. The tip ends up on center line, so you're projecting those kites and those A-sails out in front of the boat. You can also fly code sails from that point, and you're going to have really fun performance out there, whether you're racing or cruising, from tried and true retractable sprit from J-Boats. And then my third favorite feature has to be the interior. This is a modern 36-foot racer cruiser, 2 private staterooms, spacious single head, galley, nav station, settees, and a drop leaf table. There is everything on this boat that you could need without being overcomplicated. It is bright, it is spacious, it is modern, it is elegant. Let's take a peek at this. This is the classic A arrangement, meaning V-berth forward, settees, galley and nav station, and then a single stateroom aft with an aft head. This is a tried and true execution. J-Boats and J-Composites have really nailed this. So starting at the back here, port side aft, we have a wet head. It's sizable, it's functional, it's spacious. Plenty of storage behind the mirror. Obviously a sink and countertop, manual head. It's a wet head, so the floor pan is the sump with a drain. It does give you access through the door to the garage, so you're getting back to a really nice storage space, which is accessible through the port cockpit seat locker. Plenty of storage back there, also access to your steering. So that's a sort of standard J-boat feature that we've come to love. Engine access is under the companionway stairs. starboard aft is a really sizable double bed. So there's no joke that this is a double bed for 2 adults. Exactly what you'd expect, and the correct size, correct layout. There's ventilation in here with opening port lights and a door that closes for privacy, shelves, lockers. As you come down the companionway, you immediately step into the starboard galley. Double bowl stainless steel sink, 2-burner stove with oven, under counter refrigeration, plenty of storage, pantry space, drawers, really well done there as well. Forward facing nav station to port is simple, functional. There's room for electronics, there's your switch panel, there's storage. Love the little knick-knack space here, which is becoming a J-boat staple. Outboard shelving for storage there, plus opening lockers to port. And then kind of the main event is the saloon, where a simple port and starboard straight settee, certainly could be a sea berth, or you could put kids out here if you needed extra space. Drop leaf table, which you can get around both the forward end and the back end. So moving around the saloon is really easy, and you don't ever get locked in here. There's an aft view. It works properly and it's executed well. All the way forward is the V-berth. So another full-sized double bed. 2 adults are comfortably sleeping in there. 2 doors closed to close this area off for privacy. There is a hanging locker and additional storage outboard on both sides. And for racing, you've got an overhead hatch, which you could drop and set kites from. Obviously for cruising, that's great ventilation as well. And then just aft in the saloon, you've got another one for ventilation. Also opening port lights in the galley and over the nav station, as well as the few that we already saw in the head and the aft stateroom. Really well executed interior. That's the J36. This is the North American premiere of this new model from J-Boats at the Newport International Boat Show 2025. Thanks for coming along for a quick tour. Those are 3 of my favorite things on this new spectacular racer cruiser.